Hi everybody, we are getting saucy today in the Savage Kitchen. I'm Stacy Newman, joined by Chef Scott Savage, and this is something that sounds very complicated, but is actually pretty simple. Tell us what we have here.
Today we're going to make one of the 5 French mother sauces. We're going to make a bechamel. Really simple. You're going to have cream or milk. I prefer the heavy whipping cream. Gives a little richer flavor, a little deeper. You don't have to add as much flour and butter to it too to get what you're looking for. You know, not as much reduction out of it. And the other thing, I like to add a little shallot. Typically in your bechamel, there's no shallot. It's just the flour, the butter, and the cream or milk. So we're gonna add a little shallot. What I've got going on, I've got my pan heating up over there. I'm gonna take my butter. I'm gonna start melting that down in there. Not too much. So I can cut my shallot real quick here. I'm only gonna use about half of this. Take this.
Now, how high do we have the heat over there?
About a medium. You don't want to burn your butter and you don't want to burn the shallots. So we're just going to kind of cook this down a little bit.
Start smelling it pretty quickly.
And the nice thing with shallots is they cook relatively quick, so it's not going to take a long time. And this sauce, this basic sauce you can do so many different things with. That's why it's one of the French 5 basic sauces. It's a mother sauce. Okay, now you can see in there, they're just starting to turn a little brown. The butter's starting to turn a little brown. That's when you want to go in with your flour. Take your flour and whisk that in. This is where you got to be careful. Trying not to burn your flour, but you do want to cook it for a second because actually it'll release the starch, so you're not going to taste that floury in your sauce. Kind of move it around. You can see how it's kind of darkening up a little bit.
So this isn't something you should try to walk away from. You need to be attending it constantly.
Yes. Actually, we're going to open up our cream here. Anytime when you're making a sauce like this and you're using roux, you either want to have the hot roux to the cold liquid or the hot liquid to a cold roux. So you can work it either way. And I'm just going to go in. You got to kind of go fast because it's going to start clumping up on you. I'm going to use about half of this quart for this little batch. And then you're just going to kind of stir it, make sure there's no lumps of the flour because you don't want to bite into a little dumpling, which happens. So then we're just going to let this come to a simmer. You don't really want to have this on a high boil because you will burn it. The thing with the creams is creams and like tomato sauces, they'll burn real fast. So you want to keep it kind of low and just let it come to a nice little simmer, small bubbles, and you're basically done. Top it off with a little bit of salt and pepper. There's not a lot of flavor to this sauce right now. That's why it's just your base sauce, and you can turn it into biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Many different things.
So that sauce begins to thicken up a little bit, and then it's all ready to go.
Yes, it does.
All right, and you can use it for a number of different things, he says. Biscuits and gravy, maybe over some pasta. And if you stay tuned to next week, it can also be used for lobster thermidor. You won't want to miss that.